We've got another fun doubleheader here in the St. Louis Dragons franchise on Madden 24, as we're going to start at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and then head on the road Monday Night Football against the team we are very familiar with in the Atlanta Falcons. As it stands now, the Dragons are 8-3. Our 5-game win streak was snapped in the last episode at the hands of the Saints, and we're looking to rebound with 2 more matchups in the NFC South, which I believe is the best division in the NFL. We've already lost to Carolina and New Orleans this year, and we're hoping that we won't get the same luck against Tampa Bay and Atlanta. So in the last episode, we played 2 games against New England and New Orleans, and we split them, and both games were certainly quite different. Against New England, we led 17-0 at halftime. The offense laid an egg in the second half, but luckily the defense held us over. And then against New Orleans, this game started off as a defensive slugfest as well, but both offenses really picked it up in the second quarter, and from there it turned into a track meet in the second half. We've been waiting for Puma Whitlock and Callaghan October, these college rivals, to play against each other in the NFL. The first 3 times we played the Saints after they got drafted, one or both of them were hurt. We finally got the matchup today, and it delivered, with the 2 of them throwing nearly 100 combined passes. Puma Whitlock took over the game in the second half. He was electric, but the Saints won because of big plays. Tyreek Hill's kick return in overtime to win them the game. Justin Jefferson with 172 yards and 3 touchdowns. Olave with over 100 yards. Tyreek Hill with multiple big plays in the passing game. Our defense lost because of all the big plays we allowed. And with that, we fall to 8-3. We can still clinch the division as soon as this week because the NFC West is such a pile of dog water. If we win and we have a combination of teams lose, we can clinch the division this week. We're not really focused on the division, though. We're focused on seeding. Carolina sits atop the conference, followed by Atlanta. We already played against Carolina and lost, so they had the tiebreaker. And, of course, Atlanta, we're going to play against later today, and that's going to be a pivotal game for us. But we're going to start things off with the Buccaneers. And then after the Atlanta game, we're not on the road the rest of the year. Our final 4 games are at home, and they don't look that hard. Other than the reigning champion Miami Dolphins, the Jets aren't that good. Obviously, the Niners and Seahawks aren't that good. So realistically here within this stretch, 4-2 should be the absolute minimum for the Dragons. But we do have some injuries going into this game against the Buccaneers. Of course, Malachi Weston got hurt against New England. We're going to be without him for 2 weeks. So Andre Mack missed the game against New Orleans, was supposed to come back here, but he suffered a new injury in practice, a turf toe, and he will not play. Demore Diggins strained his shoulder in practice. He will not play. And obviously the big one, Jameson Williams, who broke his collarbone against the Saints, he's out today and the following 3 games after that. This is a really big loss for us. Even though JMO's numbers are down across the board, he is still a pivotal piece of the offense as our main deep threat. So without him, Arturo Modelo is going to have to take on an even bigger load. Pause. We're going to see more Omarion Cephas. We're going to see more Colin Robinson. Robinson played really well against New Orleans with over 100 yards, and he always steps up when guys get hurt. And I think Jalen Mallard's going to be the X factor, the rookie out of BYU. He's going to be our new deep threat, and I think we're going to use him a lot over these next few games until Jameson Williams comes back. So let's take a look at where the Buccaneers stand. They're currently not in the playoffs in the NFC, but they're right on the cusp at 6-6, one of the first teams out. Tampa Bay has been one of the worst teams in the NFL across this series. They've picked number 1 overall twice. They've had a bunch of top 10 picks, and they've really improved this year, although they've been very streaky. They started this season 3-0. Then they went on a 3-game losing streak. That was followed by a win streak, and then another losing streak. But they did just have their bye week in Week 12, so they've got some extra time off. They're refreshed, and we'll see if they can now start a win streak after losing 3 in a row. A big reason why the Buccaneers have improved is at the quarterback position. After drafting Deacon Adderley in the first round 4 years ago and finally letting him go, they signed Deontay Harris, another former first-rounder in that Season 1 draft. He didn't really play last year due to injury with Minnesota, but he signed with the Buccaneers and has been really good, and he's been a bargain considering the price tag. The Buccaneers completely revamped their skill position players, trading Chris Godwin to Jacksonville for Travis Etienne. They drafted Nicolo Santiago and Vince Ferguson. And then at wide receiver, they used the 4th overall pick on Arebus Dorlum. The other 2 starters are familiar faces, though. Griffin Weaver and Tykeem Keon Jr., two guys who spent the first 4 seasons of their career with the Dragons before both of them signed with Tampa Bay in the offseason. Weaver's been the best receiver on the team this year, while Keon has been quite solid as well. They've got some other former Dragons, including James Houston and B.J. Ojulari. Houston was on the team in Season 2, but he's most known for injuring Puma Whitlock in the playoffs last year, whereas Ojulari is in rotation with Houston along with Solomane Sumaro. He was the number 1 pick in Season 1. This is the guy who the Buccaneers picked over Puma Whitlock. In hindsight, that was not a good decision, but Sumaro's become a really good player over the last 2 years and has been rewarded with a massive extension. Still, in hindsight, if they were to do it over again, I think they would pick Puma and then Simeon Bonnet. They had the number 1 pick 2 years later, going with Mimoni Tuliesi, the offensive lineman out of Oregon, who plays left guard for them. Their offensive line might be the best in football. They have done a great job of building around their new quarterback, Deontay Harris, and they've got some fun young players on the defensive side of the ball as well. This is a really important game for both teams. Obviously, the Dragons are fighting for seeding, coming off a heartbreaking loss against New Orleans last week. You know they're going to be extra focused here for this game against a Buccaneers team who's coming off the bye week. They've been streaky this year, but they know they need to string along some wins if they want a wild card spot. My favorite part about this game is all of the former players who are going against their old squads. The Buccaneers have a bunch of players who used to play with us, including wide receivers Griffin Weaver and Tykeem Keon. And then on the defensive line, James Houston and B.J. Ojulari. We traded Ojulari to the Buccaneers last offseason in exchange for wide receiver Amarion Cephas, who was basically sent packing after the additions of Weaver and Keon. So I feel like Cephas is going to have a real chip on his shoulder because the Buccaneers completely replaced him. On 3rd down, Puma Whitlock is incomplete. He was looking for Likely, but Zaven Collins, the former first-round pick, got a hand on it. Didn't put enough arc on that ball. That'll force a punt, and Tampa Bay gets it. 2nd and 10, Deontay Harris up the middle. He connects with the former Dragon, Griffin Weaver III, who gets around 18 yards. Weaver has maintained his role in the slot where he's been able to stay healthy and has really had a breakout season for Tampa Bay as Harris's top option. Up the middle, it's picked off! Owen Popo with the interception as the Dragons force the early turnover. Weaver again was the intended target, but Popo does a great job of sticking onto him the entire time and grabbing the interception from Harris, just the 5th interception he's thrown all season. So St. Louis has it back on offense. Puma Whitlock on the run, connects with the former Buccaneer, Amarion Cephas, who gets it to the 33. As I said, I think Cephas is going to have a chip on his shoulder. I'm expecting a big game out of him. Up the middle on 2nd down, it's Arturo Modelo, who gets it to the 17-yard line. Modelo, the NFL's leader in receptions, and he's not too far off as the yards leader as well. 3rd and goal from the 2. Puma in the zone. It is broken up for Modelo. Jamel Dean in coverage, and that'll make it a 4th and goal. But you know the Dragons love to be aggressive. They are going to go for it. The Bucs stack the box. Puma calls an audible. Is he switching from a run to a pass, perchance, or is he going to stick with the run play? We'll see what he does as they have Gift Aaron Jr., the backup tight end, in motion. Puma will look to throw it under pressure. It is incomplete. It looked like Modelo was going to get open on the out route, but Cortez Navarro, the safety, storms into the backfield on the design blitz. A really nice defensive play call by Tampa Bay as Puma Whitlock is unable to get the ball out before getting hit, and the Bucs get the stop, but they have it inside the 5. And it won't matter because Nicolo Santiago gets the 1st down. The 6th-round rookie running back over Oklahoma, who's won reps over their 2nd-round rookie running back, Vince Ferguson. Santiago splits carries with Travis Etienne. As on 2nd down, it's caught by the tight end who's going backwards. A big tackle for loss by Owen Popo as the young guard, Kerry Viala, is hurt on the play for the Buccaneers. 3rd and 8 with just under 4 to go in the 1st. Harris looks to throw it, and he is sacked! Finnegan Howell Coleman with his 1st sack as a Dragon. He was acquired at the trade deadline from the Eagles. Really hasn't played all that well since the trade, but he finally makes a nice play, and he does it on 3rd down as well. The Dragons are going to start with plus field position, but they've got to convert this 3rd and 8. It's a screen, and it is incomplete as Inazuma Mitsugu, the guard, is hurt. Puma Whitlock, meanwhile, is 3 for 10. He has looked really shaky. up to this point. Missing a lot of throws so far as the Buccaneers get it back. Still no score. Bonnet with pressure. Up the middle. A big play for Weaver, who's hit quickly by Samasoni Saluni, but not before getting the first down. Nice grab there by Weaver, who, of course, was in that first draft class with Puma and Bonnet. Short throw for Santiago. He loses 2. Owen Popo makes the play. He's been flying around the field so far as he reads the play perfectly, forcing a tackle for loss. 2nd and 12 now from the 44. Harris looking short for Santiago again, and Owen Popo lays the boom. Another tackle for loss from Popo, who has looked incredible in the first quarter so far. Multiple tackles for loss and an interception already. 3rd and 13. Harris looks to throw it. Launches a rocket downfield for Tykeem Keon Jr., who gets into the 3. Keon is able to create separation away from Cam Lucifer and bring the Buccaneers near the goal line. From what we know about Tykeem Keon in his 4 years here is generally he's going to be the fastest player on the field. He's able to use that here with his ability to go deep and stretch the field vertically as he gets a huge conversion of close to 50 yards. 2nd and goal. It's a pitch for Santiago, and he loses 2 or 3. Nicolo, I would like you to meet Simeon Bonnet. I imagine you two are going to become quite acquainted with each other throughout the course of the day. Bonnet nearing the 30 tackle for loss threshold on the year as he looks to break the TFL record set by J.J. Watt. 3rd and goal. Harris under pressure. He throws it in the back of the end zone to wrap up the first quarter. Good pressure and coverage. No score through 1, but that should change quickly as the Buccaneers bring the field goal unit on to start the second. It is a chip shot from around 23. The kick is good. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will score first as it is 3-0. So far, the Dragons have not been good on offense. The passing game has been a disaster. Puma's got to get it together as he connects with Aaron Mayer. Up the middle, he brings it to around midfield. That was not Puma's first read. It's good to see him going through his progressions. He was under a little pressure. The Buccaneers' coverage has been top-notch up to this point. 3rd and 4. Puma's under pressure. Rolls out. Tries to outrun James Houston, and he does not. Houston, I'd like you to meet the problem. James Houston with the sack. This is bringing Dragon fans some flashbacks from last year in the playoffs when Puma got hurt. Presley Harvin on to punt it, looking to pin him back deep. And that was a close one, but it'll go in the end zone as the Buccaneers dodge a bullet. They almost started inside the 5 for a second time today. Instead, they'll begin at the 20 with a 3-0 lead as Santiago is going backwards. Bubba Watkins doing push-ups as he gets the TFL. Watkins, of course, played his college ball in Florida at Florida State University. As it is now 3rd and 3 from the 27. We'll see if the Buccaneers can punch it in. Play action. Harris. He will fire for Weaver. He's got room. And nobody's in front of him. Griffin Weaver, the 3rd, takes it 73 to the crib. And the Bucs add to their lead. What a start for Griffin Weaver, who after 4 seasons with the Dragons was not extended last offseason, signs with the Buccaneers, and he has it out for his old team with already over 100 yards here in the first half. Puma on 2nd down, gets it to Arturo Modelo. Down the field, finally pushed down at the 31. The Dragons looking to respond quickly off of the big play by Weaver as Modelo gets a huge play. And now it's 2nd and 1 from the 21. Puma up the middle, back to Modelo, another first down. I think when the passing game is struggling, the strategy is just to throw the ball to Arturo Modelo. That's what Puma's done on this drive. Modelo already has 3 separate receptions on this possession so far. Now 3rd and goal. Puma looking for Cephas, and it's broken up. It looked like he was going to have some space in the back of the end zone, but Jamel Dean jars the ball out. 4th and goal at the 4. What do? They're going to go for it again. They failed on 4th down earlier. This would look bad if they don't get it. It's Juskins, and he is stopped shy at the end zone by Zaven Collins and Antoine Winfield. So the Dragons proved to be gutsy again, and it backfires again. They could have made it a 1-score game, but they felt they were close enough. They choose to run the ball, as passing it in the red zone has not worked today. So they stick with the run despite the stacked box, and boy, does it backfire. The Buccaneers are going to be able to get out of safety territory pretty quickly as Travis Etienne gains around 9. So no worry of the safety for the Bucs, who can possibly turn this game into a blowout. They're already up 10-0, and they've got a great chance to add to their lead. Harris looking deep for Weaver. It is broken up by Lucifer, who gives him a shove. 2 former Dragons team captains going at it. It seems like tempers are flaring as Lucifer looks for vengeance against his former teammate. 3rd and 10. Here's Harris up the middle for the rookie, Erebus Dorlum, who gets the first down. And that was Lucifer in coverage. Maybe Cam Lucifer shouldn't have been doing all that yapping, as he ends up giving up a first down after all. 3rd and 5, nearing the 2-minute warning. Here's Harris. He looks to throw it, and he is intercepted. Ronrakis Barber with the interception. Barber getting some extra snaps with the injury to Demore Diggins. He had an interception last week against New Orleans and now gets one here. Harris has now been picked off twice in the first half, and St. Louis has to capitalize. Their offense has been so bad so far. They've got to get some points. As on 3rd down, Puma Whitlock will run for the first. Nobody was open, but he's able to find a little bit of space up the middle and convert. A really smart play by Puma Whitlock. 2nd and 1 now. Puma has plenty of room up the middle, but instead he looks for the rookie, Jalen Mallard, with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Dragons are finally on the board. It took them the entire half. But hey, the deficit is only at 3. It's good to see the offense capitalizing off of the turnover defensively by Ronrakis Barber. And hopefully the Dragons can use this momentum to go into the second half. I will say, though, the Dragons have not played well really whatsoever. It's no secret the offense has struggled. And defensively, I've got some questions as well. The main reason why we lost last week against New Orleans was because we allowed too many big plays. The defense has been good 80% of the snaps today, but they've allowed too many big plays so far. They've got to clean that up if they want to win this game. Let's take a look at our halftime report around the rest of the league. We will start in Buffalo. This game is tied at 14. Remember, if San Francisco and the Rams both lose, along with the Dragons win, then the Dragons do clinch the division today. We'll see if Buffalo can knock off the Niners. The Ravens and the Eagles, 2 of the best teams in the NFL. Baltimore leads 21-7, and I just want you guys to watch Lamar Jackson here because he is a magician. He makes it all the way back to the 33 before running into the end zone for a touchdown. He is Houdini. And finally, in Seattle, we have a final from Thursday Night Football. The Seahawks have won their first game since week 3. They beat the Rams. So with LA losing, we can cross that off for the division-winning checklist. And all we need now is a Niners loss and for us to win. Well, we're trailing here. We've got some work to do. The passing game hasn't been good. Puma Whitlock has been really inefficient, although his receivers have done him no favors with some of the drops so far. And then defensively, again, I think we've been really good. The run defense has been good. The pass defense has mostly been good. We forced 2 turnovers, but we've allowed a few too many big plays. Bucs start with it here in the 3rd. It is Erebus Dorlum fighting for yardage. He gets the first. Dorlum, the 4th overall pick this year from Texas A&M, stands at 6'4", 230. He's a good route runner, good hands, good after the catch. Scouts believe he can be a superstar in the making. Up the middle, incomplete, as Simeon Bonnet is hurt. Oh boy, that is not good. We'll check on his status shortly. 3rd and 10 now. Harris is sacked, fumbles it, and it's picked up by Mimoni Tuliesi, who's actually going to get positive yards. Devontae Wyatt with the strip sack, making the play in honor of his fallen teammate Simeon Bonnet, who, as you'll see here, has tore his abdominal. He's out for the game, and that is a multi-week injury. A massive loss for the Dragons defense, losing the Defensive Player of the Year frontrunner. Bonnet is the best pass rusher and run defender in the NFL, so the Dragons are going to be hurt on both the pass and run game as Milan Santa, speaking of the run game, with a nice play, he's able to get his way out of bounds, but not before bringing it to the 38. The Dragons scored on their last drive. We'll see if they can score again and take the lead. Santa wide open on 1st down. He gets around 11 or 12. Busy start to the possession for Milan Santa, who I feel like has cooled off over the last couple of weeks, but still has had a really strong season. Puma in the zone. He will fire for Amarion Cephas. The former Buck scores against his old team, and it's 14-10. So the Dragons take the lead, and the Bucks get it back. On 1st down, Harris launches a rocket down the field for Tykeem Keon. He gets it to the 12. What did I say about the big plays? They have been too common from this defense. I will say, though, Deontay Harris threw that ball about 75 yards in the air. There's not really much you can do to stop that. There's also not much you can do to stop Tykeem Keon Jr. one-on-one on a streak route because he is faster than you, Jeff Okudah. 3rd and 2. Bucs looking for the lead. Deontay Harris is sacked. Trajan Blyshenden brings him down. Blyshenden had 2.5 sacks a couple weeks ago against New England and has really stepped up since Malachi Weston got hurt in that game. And now with Simeon Bonnet out, Blyshenden becomes this team's #1 pass rusher. That'll bring out the field goal unit. Kick is good. Still a big defensive stop in the red zone, and thus the Dragons hold on to their lead. 3rd and 8. Here's Puma Whitlock looking up the middle. He misfires for Colin Robinson as now Sharif Sully, the left tackle, is hurt. Luckily, he just rolled his ankle. He should be fine. Bucs back with it. Around 2.5 to go in the 3rd. This pass is nearly intercepted. Dropped into secondary by Salooney. But the Dragons still get the stop on 3rd down anyway. And they'll get it back on offense. 2nd and 10. Puma under pressure. And he is sacked. The problem. James Houston is in for his 2nd sack of the game. 3rd and 23 now. Puma's going to look downfield. And it is broken up. Amarion Cephas had it in his hands, I feel like, but Cortez Navarro jars it out, and we will start the 4th. Another low-scoring game. It's 14-13. Harris under pressure up the middle for Arebus Dorlum, who barely is able to convert on 3rd down, and the Buccaneers will move the chains. Now from close to the 50, Harris on 1st down looks up the middle again for Dorlum, breaking tackles. And he brings it to the 35 as Dorlum is slow to get up, fighting for every yard. As he's shaken up, he'll go to the sideline, but he should be fine. 3rd and 10. Harris looks to throw it under pressure, floats it up for the tight end, Zachary Armstrong, who gets it to the 15. There was 3 defenders in the area, but nobody was close enough to the ball other than Armstrong, who makes the grab. 2nd down, Bucs in the red zone. Field goal takes the lead, but they're looking for more than 3. It's the running back, Vince Ferguson, in for a touchdown. Tampa Bay is back ahead, and now they're going to look to go for 2 to try to make it a clean 7-point deficit. Harris is picked off. Owen Pappoe with another interception, and he's got room to take this the distance. Nobody's going to catch him, and the Dragons will add on. Stop showboating. He will add 2 points to the total. It's a 4-point swing. Had the Buccaneers gotten the 2-point conversion successfully, they'd be up by 7. Instead, they're up by 3. A huge play by Owen Pappoe, who's been literally the best player on the field today, other than maybe Griffin Weaver. Milan Santa drops an open pass on 2nd and 6. Again, Puma's had some misses, but his receivers, other than Arturo Modelo, have been a train wreck. 3rd and 6. Up the middle, looking for Modelo, and Puma Whitlock again completely misfires. He's 15 for 33. Dragons are going to have to punt it. They're not close enough to go for it as the Bucs get it. From the 16, this pass is dropped by Okudah. The dropsies have been traded now to the defense as Harris was nearly intercepted again. 2nd and 10 now. Here is Deontay Harris on the wheel route. He gets it to Ferguson, who mosses Ryan Nada and gets over 20. Both of the lead rushers, Nicolo Santiago and Travis Etienne, got injured in the 3rd quarter. Vince Ferguson is the only healthy running back left. Play action for Ferguson. Harris is sacked again. Finnegan Howell Coleman with his 2nd sack of the game. Good to see the young defensive tackle really breaking out, and we're going to need him to produce with all the injuries on the defensive line. 3rd and 9 now. Harris looks to throw it up the middle. It is caught, but not for a 1st down, as Keon only gets 7. Big tackle by Cam Lucifer, as Keon now has 3 catches for a whole 128 yards. The offense returns, only down by 3 with a chance to take the lead. It's been a rough day on offense, but Puma can change the narrative here. And I think he had a touchdown for Colin Robinson, but Puma threw the ball too early. He misled Robinson on the route. Now 3rd and 5, up the middle, Modelo with the 1st down. I think Puma's going to go back to the strategy of only throwing it to Arturo because that is the only way he's been successful today. On 1st down, it's Darwin Juskins powering his way through the defense with a nice run past the 50. A field goal does tie the game. That would not be a bad result at all, but the Dragons would obviously like more than that. Here's Puma on the run, connects with Amarion Cephas, who ever since his touchdown has dropped probably about 3 or 4 passes. It's been a rough day for him against his former team, not having the revenge game like Griffin Weaver or Tykeem Keon has. Big run on 3rd and 2 for Juskins. He brings it inside the 10. The Dragons have really struggled in the red zone, though, today. They've had 2 failed trips. They've got to score. 1st and goal. Puma with room up the middle. Takes it himself for a touchdown. And as much as Puma Whitlock has not had a good game, he was really good on that possession to put St. Louis up by 4. And now it's up to Deontay Harris. He's got 1:57 and all 3 timeouts, down by 4. So keep in mind, a field goal does nothing. They need a touchdown here. 2nd and 4. Harris looks to throw it up the middle. It is Tykeem Keon Jr. who gets it to the 38. Keon and Weaver, I think, combined have around at least 300 yards today. As here is Ferguson, pushed out of bounds at around the 42 after a nice gain. Look at the clock. There's only 49 seconds left. The Buccaneers got to keep it moving, although they've looked pretty good so far on this drive at the opposing 42. Harris up the middle. Short throw caught by Ferguson. And Vince Ferguson gets injured. So not only do the Bucs have to call a timeout, but they are out of running backs. All 3 of the running backs have gotten injured, and now they have to turn to the fullback. Safe to say they won't be running the ball. Not that they would anyway, as they go up the middle for Armstrong. He gets the 1st down, and DJ Orleans is limping. Another injury to the defensive line. It looks like he hurt his toe. That's the Dragons' probably 3 best defensive linemen now who are out. So now we're down to 40 seconds. Bucs still with 2 timeouts. Harris up the middle for Weaver. And he will get it to the 1. Unable to power his way in. 2nd and goal now from the 1. Can the Bucs take the lead? Harris looks to throw it. He's got Weaver for the touchdown. What a game from Griffin Weaver. 7 catches. A whole lot of yards. Probably like 150, 170. He never got that many with us. And 2 touchdowns, including possibly the clincher. The Dragons only had 30 seconds and 1 timeout, but all they need is a field goal. Here's Puma on the first play of the drive, looking downfield. He's intercepted. So much for that. Antoine Winfield Jr. picks it off, and that'll do it. The Bucs will hang on to defeat the Dragons 26-23 as St. Louis loses their 2nd consecutive game. And look, obviously losing this game sucks, but we completely deserved to lose this game the way we shot ourselves in the foot on both sides of the ball. Defensively at halftime, I talked about the amount of big plays we've let up. And again, I feel like the defense was good on 80% of the snaps. The pass rush was good even without Simeon Bonnet. The run defense was good. We forced 2 turnovers, but the Buccaneers just had a few too many big plays. Offensively, we were not good on that side of the ball. Puma Whitlock had one of the worst games of his career, and we didn't really get anything on the ground game. Deontay Harris played a gutsy game. He had the turnovers, 2 interceptions, not counting the 2-point conversion interception, but he made some big throws. Nearly 500 yards passing for Harris. As for Puma Whitlock, not a good game. Even with the interception aside, he was missing throws. His receivers didn't help him, but he did not have a good game. The run game was solid. We weren't really able to get it going consistently, but it wasn't horrible. Modelo had a great game, but he was outshined by these 2, Griffin Weaver and Tykeem Keon, who combined for over 300 yards. Tykeem Keon, 5 for 150 and 3 drops. Weaver, 7 for 156 and 2 touchdowns. I think those are career highs for both of those guys, and they do it against us, which hurts the most. Nobody else stood out for his receiving because the other receivers were really bad. Amarion Cephas in his revenge game had 5 drops. I will say, I feel like that number is unfair. 2 or 3 of those weren't really catchable, but still, he was not good. I wanted him to make a statement, and he did not. Again, though, I thought the front 7 played really well. The pass rush was good. The run defense was good. We forced turnovers, but the coverage downfield was shaky. Tykeem Keon had 2 plays of 50-plus yards. Griffin Weaver had a bunch of big plays. And thus, the Buccaneers beat us with our own guys. As for Simeon Bonnet, he will be missing the next 3 games with the abdominal tear, and obviously that's a big deal. I feel like we were able to survive today without him. We had 4 sacks. The front line played pretty well, but Bonnet's numbers this year show how valuable he is. In games where he has at least 2 sacks, we are 6-0. Our 4 of our losses have come in games where Simeon Bonnet has been a non-factor. Well, obviously, he's going to be a non-factor the next 3 weeks because he's not going to play. So that certainly is going to hurt us. We will get Malachi Weston back in a couple weeks, but we're going to be without both him and Bonnet against the Falcons. So we're going to need all these guys to step up. Orleans needs a big game. Blyshenden needs a big game. Sanaga needs a big game. I will say, though, we did get some good news through the sim. Atlanta lost and Carolina lost. So neither of them are able to make up any ground atop the NFC. As for the players of the week, CeeDee Lamb, I'm surprised it's not Griffin Weaver. Zachariah Drake, Isaiah Foskey, and Chauncey Easley. So that brings us here into Week 14 against the Falcons. They just lost to New Orleans, just like us, and they are 8-4. Carolina at 9-3 still is atop the NFC, but we've got a new challenger joining us, the Red Hot Packers, who have won 5 in a row. Green Bay is now the 2nd seed, and we have dropped to 3rd. New Orleans, meanwhile, has won 4 in a row. They're climbing back up. The Bucs are climbing. Both of those teams have the tiebreaker over us, which won't matter if neither of them win the division, but still. Speaking of the division, all we have to do is beat the Falcons or have everybody lose, and we'll win the division. Honestly, I feel like those 3 teams all losing might be more realistic than us winning this game. And it's not that I'm not confident in us beating the Falcons. It's just that these 3 teams all really suck. Let's take a look at the Falcons, who are currently 8-4. They've been consistently one of the best teams through this series. We've played against them in the playoffs twice. We lost in overtime in the divisional round back in Season 3. We won in Season 4 in the divisional round with Chance Matsumolo. Last season, in Year 5, we obviously didn't play the Falcons in the playoffs because we got one and done. Atlanta ended up making it to the Super Bowl, where they lost to the Dolphins. The Falcons have been inconsistent, though, on a week-to-week basis this year. I'm not really sure what version of the Falcons we're going to get, but obviously this is a great team. They've made the playoffs a bunch of years in a row, and that's been because of the consistency at quarterback from Desmond Ridder, who's been really steady. The numbers aren't necessarily going to pop off the page, but he's a good player. The reason why their offense has been successful, though, this year is Bijan Robinson, who leads the NFL in rushing yards. The unstoppable force, Bijan Robinson, the NFL's top running back, meets the immovable object, the Dragons' run defense, the top-ranked run defense in the NFL. Which side will get the upper hand? Will it be Bijan or will it be our run defense? The Falcons have some really good running backs behind him, and they've got some great weapons. Drake London, 6'4", Donovan Peoples-Jones, 6'2", Sebastian Pozzuelo, 6'5", Keanu Hokulani, 6'5". These guys are big as hell. Desmond Ridder has some big targets to throw the ball to. The Falcons have really good play on the offensive and defensive lines. Of course, they traded for Dexter Lawrence a couple years ago from the Giants. And overall, this roster is really solid. There's a reason why they've been consistently one of the best teams in the NFC throughout this series. One more order of business before we hop into the game. Now that we've made it into Week 14, we can take a look at the playoff picture. I think we probably could have looked at this last week, and I completely forgot. But, of course, as we saw in the standings, we are currently the 3 seed, and if the season ended today, we'd play against Minnesota in the first round with rookie quarterback Simone Rashid IV, which would be a really fun game. But obviously, we still have 5 more games left to go, so things will change. But of course, the Dragons can clinch the division with a win. Here on the road, Monday Night Football, 8-4 St. Louis against 8-4 Atlanta. These two teams have some history with multiple playoff battles over the last couple of seasons. And of course, in the Buccaneers game, the big storyline there was the revenge game for a number of different players. Most notably, the great performances we saw out of Griffin Weaver and Tykeem Keon combining for 300 yards. Well, today we've got a few more guys with revenge games. Jordan Whitehead, the former Dragon, is in the Atlanta secondary. And then for us, we signed DJ Orleans in the offseason after 4 seasons with Atlanta, and Colin Robinson was drafted by the Falcons. Robinson was never given a chance in Atlanta before he's come here and has turned into a pretty solid player. So in terms of, actually wanting revenge, I think Robinson is the guy to watch for a big game. Well, here's Puma Whitlock leading out the offense, coming off his worst game of the season last week, looking to respond against probably an even better defense here with the Falcons. On first down, it's a handoff for Darwin Juskins. He's got room up the middle. A big run for Juskins. He gets 16. The Dragons need to set the tone offensively. They cannot have another slow start on this side of the ball like they have over the last 2 weeks. 2nd and 10. Puma on the run. Evades the pressure. He has Robinson wide open. And the former Falcon, Colin Robinson, gets it to the 17. What a play by Puma Whitlock, evading pressure, so good as an improviser. He was not doing this type of stuff last week, put it this way. 3rd and 8 now, Puma looking for the corner of the end zone. It is Modelo time. Arturo Modelo with the score, his, I believe, 11th of the year. And the St. Louis Dragons march down the field. They score a touchdown. That drive was better than anything we saw against the Bucs. And now Atlanta has it. Here's Drake London with plenty of room past Cam Lucifer. Lucifer, I think, was supposed to be in press coverage, and London is so big and physical, he beats him off the line quickly and is able to get open early in the route. So Atlanta's now got it in the 14 after that big play. As Ritter's looking for the end zone, he's got his tight end, Keanu Hokulani, for the score. A couple of former Miami pass catchers put their teams on the board. Modelo, now Hokulani, and we're tied at 7. Dragons back with it. Here's Isaiah Likely. Brings it past midfield to the 48. These offenses are coming out the gates fast. Pause. Following play. Puma under pressure. Connects with the rookie Jalen Mallard. Despite getting hit as he throws it, Puma sends a dot for Mallard, who gets around 16 yards. 3rd and 11 now. Puma's in the zone, looking up the middle. He's got Amarion Cephas for the first down, fighting for yardage to the 15. We're definitely hoping for a big game out of Cephas after his very disappointing outing against the Bucs. 3rd and 6. Up the middle. Juskins rolls into the end zone for a touchdown. 2 early first quarter passing touchdowns for Puma Whitlock, and it is now 14-7. All offense through 1 as we move into the second. Atlanta starts with it. 3rd and 6. Ritter now looking to escape pressure. He's got room and will run for the first down just shy of the 50. Of the Dragons' 4 losses this year, 3 of them have come to the NFC South. They're 0-3 against this division and are looking to avoid the sweep. Ritter fires. He connects with Marcus Rambo, who gets it to the 35. Rambo, the number 4 receiver on this team. 2nd and 6 now. Ritter looks short. He's got his tight end, Hokulani. Breaks tackles, breaks another, and is finally wrapped up by Saluni and Nada. But not before bringing it to the 17. Huge play there by Keanu Hokulani, who's off to a quick start for the Falcons. 3rd and 8 now. Ritter looks to throw it under a little bit of pressure, and he throws it away. Finally, a defensive stop. It took us nearly a quarter and a half for either team to do it, but the Dragons will hold Atlanta in the red zone. No more Younghoe Koo. Their new kicker is Andrew Whitlock. No relations to Puma, as you can probably tell by his appearance. And with that, it's now 14-10. 3rd and 1. Puma up the middle. He finds Colin Robinson for the first down. Robinson's been productive so far against his old team, as it's now 3rd and 6 at around the 50. Here's Puma under pressure, looking downfield. It is broken up for Amarion Cephas. The Falcons finally get a stop. Not so fast. Defensive pass interference on Bryce Hall. It's an automatic first down. Clear contact there between Hall and the receiver Cephas. 3rd and 12 now. Puma's under pressure. He is thrown down by Sexy Dexter Lawrence with the sack. And the Dragons are going to kick. They're too far away to go for it. They're too close to punt it. So it's a 56-yard try for Cameron Dicker, the kicker. It is short. It was perfectly down the middle, but it doesn't quite have the distance. That's Dicker's only 3rd miss of the entire season. And so just like that, Atlanta starts with great field position now and a perfect chance to take their first lead of the game. 3rd and 3, Ritter, quick throw, it is caught. London is able to make sure it avoids the ground. A great play from Drake London as he converts. Now 3rd and 10 from the 39. This is the same spot where the Dragons missed the field goal earlier, but no need for a field goal. We've got a strip sack. Ball's out, and it's picked up by Atlanta. Ritter is able to jump on the fumble, but still the Dragons get the stop. Nnamdi Sanaga with the sack, and we get our first punt of the game as St. Louis gets it back. Still ahead. Puma up the middle with a strike for his tight end, Isaiah Likely, who gets it to around the 30. Clock is ticking, though. Now under a minute, 34 seconds, 2 timeouts. It's a 3rd and 3. Puma under pressure from Lawrence, gets a block, rolls to the right, looks for the end zone. It is incomplete. He was trying to get into Cephas. Probably threw it a little bit too late, and, well, the pass went out of bounds anyway. That'll return the field goal unit. 40-yard try for Dicker. This one is good. And so Cameron Dicker redeems himself at 17-10 going into half. The Bucs game, I feel like, was mostly about defense. Today it's been about offense. Although I will say, I do feel slightly encouraged by the defense because we really haven't seen those big plays that have killed us over the last 2 weeks, other than the long reception on the first drive by London. Offensively, we've looked good. Puma Whitlock has looked significantly better than he did a year ago. As we take a look at some of the scores around the NFL, the Niners lost, the Seahawks lost, and the Rams lost. So with that, the Dragons have clinched the division without even winning today. I was right. It's more likely those 3 teams lose than us winning because they stink so bad. So even if we lose this game, we still have punched our ticket to the playoffs, which is pretty exciting, although it's not really a surprise. And now our focus is on seeding with teams like Atlanta here, Carolina, Green Bay, Minnesota, Philadelphia, amongst others. Atlanta starts with it. Here's Bijan Robinson up the middle. He gets the first down. And Bijan Robinson is hurt. That is not good news for Atlanta. Bijan has been adequate today. I wouldn't say he's been good, but he hasn't been, dreadful. He's going to go to the locker room, and Steele Covey, the small speedster from Middle Tennessee State, will replace him out of the backfield at running back as he gets it on first down with a hole. Here is Covey. Breaks a tackle. Down the field. Steele Covey gets 31. A huge gain for Covey, all 5'7" of him with the run. 3rd and goal, 7 to go. Ritter's pass is caught out of bounds at the 2. So now 4th and goal. What does Atlanta do? They're going to go for it. They believe in their offense. These red zone 4th downs burned St. Louis last week against the Bucs as Covey walks it in untouched. We're tied. A big drive by Steele Covey replacing Bijan Robinson, and we are knotted up at 17. Dragons back with it. 2nd and 11 up the middle. It's Arturo Modelo who gets the first down to the 24. In the first half, Modelo only had 1 target, which was his touchdown reception, but A.J. Terrell has had him in hell. He has not been able to get open. 1st and goal. Puma rolls to the right, under pressure, fires for Robinson for the touchdown. Puma Whitlock is a magician, and he pulls a rabbit out of his hat. An unbelievable play under pressure by Puma, and a good job by Colin Robinson to track the football and hold on to it after getting hit. So as much of that play we want to give Puma Whitlock credit, that doesn't happen without the high football IQ of Colin Robinson. It's 24-17, and the Falcons get it back. Here is Ritter. Looks towards the sideline. It is caught by Marcus Rambo. As Trajan Blyshenden is hurt, isn't that just phenomenal? Again, arguably the 3 best pass rushers, Weston, Bonnet, and Blyshenden, all injured. As it's first down from around the 50. There's a big play by Nnamdi Sanaga, who hasn't played a ton this year, but when he has gotten reps due to injuries, he's really stepped up. And when certain players come back, he needs to stay in the rotation with how well he has performed in limited opportunity. 3rd and 11 from the 49. Play action. Ritter looks downfield. It is caught by London inside the 10 to the 6. Why did Cam Lucifer, just stop as the ball was placed in London's hands? It's like he just froze. I think he was trying to play for the ball, but got confused. I don't know. That was a horrible play by Lucifer, who's having another rough game. 3rd and goal. Ritter under pressure from Owen Popo. He throws it away. From the 5, what do you do here if you're Atlanta? We're now in the 4th quarter, and the Falcons are going to go for it again. Can the Dragons hold them this time? Ritter looks to throw it, and it is caught, but out of bounds! Hokulani cannot drag the feet in. A massive break for St. Louis, and surprisingly, they didn't even, review the play. I thought that was really close, but it is called out of bounds. And St. Louis gets it, albeit with bad field position, and this will not help. Darwin Juskins loses 3. Our good friend from the Titans franchise last year, Harold Landry, brings him down. On 3rd down, it's nearly intercepted right into the hands of Foye Oloakin, but he blatantly drops it. Atlanta could have got great field position. They still do at the 42, but they could have started at the 5. Ritter on the wheel route. He's got Steele Covey, who brings it to the 25. Atlanta is looking to capitalize off the field position and get right back in the red zone and make up for their mistake from the last drive. On first down, it's a play action. Ritter rolls right. He connects with Drake London, who leaps his way in, and we're tied. What a game from Drake London. It's now been 3 weeks in a row where a receiver has taken over the game from the other team. Today it's London. Last week it was Griffin Weaver. The week before it's Justin Jefferson. This trend is becoming a concern. Dragons back with it on the run. He connects with Amarion Cephas to the 39. Puma had 2 guys right in his face and still is able to make the throw while backpedaling. 2nd and 2, play action for Juskins. Puma sets his feet, has a wide open man. It's Cephas who brings it to the 20. A few big plays on this possession for Amarion Cephas. The Dragons saw Atlanta tie the game, and they have taken it personal, looking to make sure they get this lead back. From the 20, Puma escapes the pressure on the run for Likely, who gets it inside the 5 to the 2. How does Puma Whitlock keep doing this? He's zigzagging out of the pocket, weaving his way through defenders, all to dump it off for Isaiah Likely, who makes a good play after the catch. Puma Whitlock is not human. This guy is a robot. 1st and goal on the audible. It's an RPO for Robinson, who walks it in for his 2nd touchdown of the game. It'll be a rushing score for Robinson officially, and it's now 31-24. What a great audible by Puma Whitlock. He saw the 2 receivers to the left side. There was only 1 defensive back lined up there pre-snaps. So Puma knows if he goes for an RPO, he'll have Modelo blocking the defensive back, and Robinson's going to have a wide open lane to walk into the end zone. Puma Whitlock's football IQ comes into play again, and it's a 7-point lead as Drake London makes another play up the middle. Cam Lucifer's had some dreadful games this year. Today is another one. He has been burnt toast. 2nd down, 4 minutes to go. It's a handoff to the left side for Covey. He's able to get a 1st down and more inside the 25. Steel Covey has played phenomenally today. No running back has had this level of success against the Dragons this year. Play action for Covey. Ritter for the end zone. It's Drake London again. What a game for London. His 2nd touchdown of the night, and we're tied at 31. Neither team can hold on to the lead at all, and the Dragons get it back with 3:35 to go. Can Puma Whitlock send his team down the field again and look to win this one and snap the losing streak? First play from the 27. It's a run with Juskins. He gets by the defender. Whoop! Jukes away from the safety, and a big start for Darwin Juskins as he gets 23. The Dragons have really not run the ball well at all today. Very refreshing to see a big run from Juskins. 2nd and 4, 2.5 to go. It's an RPO, this time for Arturo Modelo. He's going to outrun Terrell and is out of bounds at the 35. Good play there by Arturo Modelo. That'll keep the chains moving. St. Louis is getting close to field goal range. Here's Puma. Under pressure, he is sacked. Sexy Dexy once again. Dexter Lawrence makes the play. It's now 3rd and 13. After the 2-minute warning, play action for Juskins. Puma looks downfield. He's got Modelo inside the 10 to the 6 as Aloakin is banged up. A huge play for Arturo Modelo. Even in a game where he's been quieter, he still steps up. St. Louis now on the goal line. 3rd and goal. Juskins does not get it. What do the Dragons do on 4th and goal? They're going to go for it. In a tie game like this, I would normally advocate to kick. But when you're this close, I feel like you got to punch it in, especially because the defense has not been very good today. From the half-yard line, Puma is stopped! Atlanta holds him on the goal line. It's guess who? Dexter Lawrence again. And the Falcons can now win the game. They get the stop on the goal line as the Dragons' red zone struggles continue. Now, Atlanta's going to start at the 1-yard line. Safety is very much in play, but obviously this is a better scenario for them than allowing the touchdown. We'll see if Atlanta can get out of safety zone. I imagine the Dragons are likely going to send plenty of pressure. Wouldn't be surprised to see Popo and Nada look to blitz. That's what they do. Nada sends pressure. It's caught by Rambo up the middle. Forget the safety. He gets 27 yards, and now Atlanta has breathing room, and they can try to drive down the field. But they're not going to. They're going to let this clock burn. I don't know why. I feel like they have a chance to win this game with how poorly the Dragons' defense has played. Covey gets it to the 38. You guys are 20 yards away from field goal range. I get that there's no timeouts, but why let all the clock chew? And now there's 6 seconds left, and they have to lob up a Hail Mary. Inexcusable on the part of the Falcons for not trying to win the game. Well, Ritter will go for the Hail Mary. He will get it there for the win. It is incomplete. That was a close one. Okulani almost made a play on the ball there at the end. But ultimately to no avail as the Dragons head to overtime for a second game over the last 3 weeks. Against New Orleans 2 weeks ago, the Saints obviously returned the opening kick for a touchdown. Neither team got the ball. Tails never fails, and it lands on heads. We really went 0 for 2 on tails. So Atlanta's obviously going to choose to start with the ball. With how well these offenses have played, this really feels like a last team to touch the ball wins. And here, being that it's regular season overtime rules, if Atlanta scores a touchdown, they win the game. So the Dragons are not exactly in a great position here, but we'll see if the defense can come up clutch, and that is not a good fumble! The ball goes flying, and it's picked up by Lindstrom. That wasn't just a fumble. That ball zoinked out of his hands. What a hit by Jalen Bourgeois. His first career forced fumble. Great play by Lindstrom to scoop it up. It's a first down after all. Now 3rd and 5. Hokulani with another first. And this time he holds on to the ball. So Atlanta's having no problem marching it down the field, minus the hiccup with the fumble, which probably would have costed them the game had the defense recovered. 3rd and 4 now from the 38. Can the Falcons convert another third? Up the middle, they will! Another first down for Atlanta. Sebastian Puzzuello, who's been quiet today, just his second reception, but it's a big one. 2nd and 1 now from the 23. The Falcons are getting closer and closer. Short throw caught by Hokulani. That's another first down. Keanu Hokulani with 3 touchdowns here in overtime alone. Atlanta's in the red zone, and they are letting this clock burn. Even if the Dragons do get a stop, they're not going to have much time with the ball. Short throw is caught by an open man. It's Puzzuello. He brings it to the 6. Game-saving tackle by Okuda, but now Atlanta has it on the goal line. Can they finish off the game and give the Dragons their 3rd straight loss? 1st and goal. Ritter is intercepted! Lucifer picks it off and he drags the feet in. What a play by Cam Lucifer. How did he just do that? As bad as Lucifer has been today, he just saved the game for the Dragons. Now, did he get the feet in? Let's look at the replay. 1, 2. He got him. What a play by Lucifer. An acrobatic catch. He somehow drags the feet in bounds. That is a season-defining play by Cam Lucifer. And now all the offense needs is a field goal as Juskins loses 2 to start. 2nd and 12, play action. Puma on the run, goes short. It's Colin Robinson, the former Falcon, who's had a great game against his old squad. He gets it to the 42. We know Cameron Dicker missed the long kick earlier from 56, so the Dragons are going to be cautious. 3rd and 5, it's a run with Santa. He gets the first. The idea was that if he didn't get the first, we would have gone for it, but he got it, so it works out. St. Louis is awfully close to field goal range, maybe a first down away. But on 2nd and 7, Santa's going backwards. He's wrapped up by Draymond Weston. No relations to Malachi as far as I'm aware. And now it's 3rd and 8. The Dragons are not in field goal range. Puma looks to throw it. He goes short for Robinson, who is just shy. What does St. Louis do on 4th and inches? They wanted to get close to the first down marker to where they have some flexibility with the decision. They can go for it or kick, and it's going to be a field goal. Dicker missed one from 56 earlier. This one from 54 for the win. He got it! Cameron Dicker with the game winner, and the St. Louis Dragons win the game of the year on Monday Night Football here against the Falcons. A gutsy call to go for the field goal after we missed a long one earlier, but with our struggles on 4th and short today, and with the wind blowing to Dicker's back, I felt confident that we would make the field goal and end the game, and that's exactly what we do. Atlanta had their opportunity to win this one, but the interception by Cam Lucifer saved the game. Lucifer was not good today, but he makes up for it with the play of the year, in my opinion, saving the game with the interception in the red zone. I think it's fair to say we had a pretty good game out of our quarterback. Puma Whitlock was electric. He was dicing up this defense, making big throws out of structure. That was one of the best games I've seen from him after one of the worst last week. As for Ritter, he had a strong game himself. Now, he missed more throws than Puma, but he was still quite good. I'm not going to blame him for the interception at all. That was just exceptional defense by Cam Lucifer. Going into this game, I was curious about the matchup between Bijan Robinson and the Dragons' run defense, and both of them happened to lose because Steel Covey outplayed Bijan and made our defense look foolish. Our run game wasn't great, but we did get some big runs late out of Darwin Juskins. Drake London was an animal, 9 catches for $183 and 2 touchdowns, whereas for us, we spread the ball around. Likely, Modelo, Robinson, and Cephas all caught at least 5 passes. They all had at least 70 yards, and the 4 of them only had 2 combined drops. I thought the offensive line was quite solid, other than the guys blocking Dexter Lawrence, because he was an animal. Dexter Lawrence was incredible in this game, and gotta shout out Cam Lucifer. I know he did not have a good game at all, but the interception was huge. And Cameron Dicker as well with the game-winning field goal as well from 54. That was not a short kick. So Trayshawn Blyshenden tore his labrum. He'll be out for the next 3 games. It's nice that we're getting Malachi Weston back, but we're still going to be without our top 2 sack getters of the season. We already saw the Week 14 scores, but here's another look. As for the players of the week, Puma Whitlock, very well deserved, along with Trevor Lawrence, Jack Campbell, and Miko Osekola. That brings us into Week 15. 4 more games left to go in the regular season. We've got the Jets, Dolphins, Seahawks, and Niners all at home. So, of course, we have now officially clinched the division. As you guys know, we're locked into a playoff spot. We've moved back up to the 2 seed with the Packers losing. And if the season ended today, we would rematch with the New Orleans Saints in the first round. That'll wrap up the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Certainly a fun one. I know it was a long one, but 2 very interesting games. The second one against Atlanta was wild. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.